Hi there, great listeners. My name is Rodo Sofranac, R-O-D-O, Rodo. And my friends and I were able to put together a great book called The Red-Tailed Tale on the Arizona Trail. And this book was so much fun to put together because it tells you so much about Arizona, the geology, the animals, the plants, and especially the people that you could encounter as you go along those 800 miles, or even just part of those 800 miles. So we divided the book into 3 sections. The first section shows you all about the animals and all about the different geology and all about the different plants that are in Arizona, and especially the people. It talks to you about the people. Some people that have been living here for thousands of years, and some people that are brand new to Arizona. So we've got an incredibly diverse state, and it was so much fun to talk about it in this book. The second part of the book is the story I'm going to read to you. It's a little adventure that the storyteller in the book has with the red-tailed hawk. The little adventurer, his name is Rowan, and that's an old Gaelic word for redhead or red top. So you got the red head and the red tail. Get it? Red-tailed tail. And the third part of the book are some lines that if you get the book, you can take it out and it can be your book. Not mine and my friends, but your book, because you're able to write about the adventures you're going to have while walking on the trail. So I hope you enjoy it. It was fun for us to make, and I hope it's fun for you to listen to and to especially learn about. So Rowan and his family, they love to hike on the trail, especially the North Rim, because the North Rim has great, huge ponderosa pine, and it has lots of different animals up there, and not as many people, so it's not as crowded. So here's Rowan telling you about their adventure on the North Rim. As we walked along the Arizona Trail, I looked up to see if I could spot the top of these green giants, these high ponderosa pine. All of a sudden, zooming down from the sky and then gently perching on a branch about halfway up this colossal conifer, and that's a word that means it has pine cones, was this majestic red-tailed hawk. I looked at the hawk straight into his eyes. He looked straight into mine. I smiled. He blinked. I just made a new friend. I named the red-tailed friend Rojo. The J in the word is pronounced like an H because Rojo is the Spanish word for red. Get it? I yelled to my family, "Look, a red-tailed hawk," and it just winked at me. My dad turned around to where I pointed and said, "What hawk?" I looked up, and sure enough, Rojo wasn't there anymore. As we walked a little further, from the corner of my eye, I could see Rojo diving down and then resting on another pine. "There's Rojo again," I yelled. My sister looked up to where I pointed, then she turned quickly to me and said, "You're the only bird brain around here. Quit teasing us." Was I dreaming, imagining, or just wishing for a fascinating flying friend? Or was Rojo playing games with me? What was going on here? Again, we walked a little further, and again Rojo came sweeping down. This time I didn't say anything. I just smiled at Rojo and ran ahead of my family a few trees. "Don't go too far ahead, Rowan," my mother yelled. "You know our #1 hiking rule. We want to make sure you see us and we see you. When the forest gets thick like this, it is very easy to get lost." And my dad added, "Plus it's not too long before the sun goes down, and you know how dark it'll get up here." "Oh, I see you all fine. I also see a lot of other things," I yelled back. "Like your imaginary eagle?" my sister laughed. "It's not an eagle. It's a red-tailed hawk," I corrected her. "It is real, very real." Now I was mad and ran up ahead even farther. I was going to play hide and scare 'em with my family. I thought I'd hide behind a tree and jump out when they walked by. I'll show them a red-headed swooping down. Some ponderosa pines have trunks so big it would take 8 or 10 kids to hold hands all around it. So it was pretty easy for one kid to hide behind one of those big ponderosa pines. "Rowan, where are you?" came the call from my dad. "Just a few more feet and you'll see me," I whispered with wild anticipation. "Rowan, you're breaking rule number 1, yelled Mom. "Get up here where we can see each other." Just a few more seconds, I thought. But as I came around the back of the monster, I heard a noise that nobody wants to hear. It sounds like a hissing, then a rattle, but a hiss snake doesn't sound as good as a rattlesnake. Tss, came the sound again from a bush near the tree. My folks always told me, you don't find snakes, they find you. Oh, and when they do, get away. Then came the third. Tss. 3 warnings were all I needed. I slowly walked backwards away from the hissing sound, hoping it was just a warning, not an attack. As I backed up, I heard a kind of screeching and screaming sound, like someone yelling at me. Guess who I saw swooping down? Oh, that's right, it was Rojo. Without even slowing down, he dove down towards the snake, picked it up with his powerful talons, and rocketed up and away with it. That was some big snake. But Rojo roared away with it with no problem. I yelled to him, "Rojo, you're our very real and a really good friend. Thanks, buddy." I wish my family could have seen how my Rojo helped me. Then they could see Rojo was not imaginary. I thought this was the time to get out of there and back to my family. So that's exactly what I did. I got away. I ran as fast as my young legs could move. Kind of funny what being scared can make you do. When I got to the clearing, I thankfully announced, "Well, here I am. And wow, do I have a story to tell you." The only problem was there was nobody there to hear the story. I yelled, "Okay, Mom and Dad, Maria, I get it. Your turn to hide from me, but I'm a bit scared right now, and I have a really great story to tell you. You can come out." But nothing happened. No one talked or yelled back to me. Are they playing with me now? Or am I lost? How far did I run? In what direction did I run? Oh, my mom's words, when the forest is thick like this, it is easy to get lost. Those words echoed in my head. I stopped being a little scared and got very scared. I tried to remember the things our folks taught us if we ever get lost. Number 1, don't freak out. Relax and think. Number 2, don't move. You could get even further away from help and very tired. Number 3, make a noise. Bring a whistle with you on long hikes, or be prepared to yell. So I found a big boulder to sit on, took a few deep breaths to relax, and thought of the noise I could make. I was really hoping this would work. Since I didn't bring my whistle, I thought I could start screeching like the hawk. So I did. Kee, 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 kee. All of a sudden, I spotted Rojo flying high above. I remembered how he has great vision. He could see some of the smallest stuff on the ground from high above the treetops. Maybe he could see where my family was, where I was, and how we could get together. He swooped down to me, closer than ever before. The nearer he came, the more I could just see how beautiful he was. Not only red, but brown and black and white, all shades, just like people. Rojo dove down so close I thought he was going to pick me up like he did the snake. But he flew to a tree about 30 feet away from me. I didn't want to play now, so I turned and kept walking in the direction that I had started. All of a sudden, I heard Rojo screeching and squeaking even louder than I did. As I turned to walk towards him, he stopped screeching. I turned away again, and he started squealing again. What was his game? Then I thought, maybe he wasn't playing. Maybe he's leading the way to where the rest of my family was. I started walking closer to him. As I got closer, he flew away, but only as far as I could see him. This time I ran toward him. Once again he took off, and once again I followed. A few more times, and I thought, I can't believe I was separated so far from my family. I hope Rojo is really leading me. It was a couple more times of me chasing Rojo when we got to a larger clearing. When I stopped to catch my breath, I heard, "Rowan, where the heck are you? Quit hiding now." Oh, I ran towards the voice, and there was Maria. My mom and dad were not far behind her. I ran to Maria's arms, and we hugged like we never hugged before. My mom and dad soon joined us in this big group hug. After she hugged me, my mom said angrily, "That was not a fun game, little man. You really scared us. What happened to you?" "You're never gonna believe it," I shouted with joy. And guess what? They didn't. They didn't believe me. Well, I know what happened, but I'm not going to hide again to prove it. I don't need to. Rojo is real, and we had a real adventure together. Maybe I will see Rojo on our next visit on the trail, or maybe I will see him some other fun journey. Then again, maybe I will never see him again. But I know I saw him on this trip. No matter what, I will never forget the great friend I made and the wonderful adventure we two redheads had on the Arizona Trail. I can't wait for the next one. How's that for a story? Now, all the science that you're learning this week and that you learned before, you can take all of that on the trail with you. And again, to learn about the geology, to learn about the plants, the animals, and especially all the people. And in this book, we show you a lot of those great parts. So I hope you can get the book, and I hope you can learn from it and take all the science that you're learning out when you get your adventure on the trail. We loved writing the books. I have 8 books altogether, and we don't keep any of the money off of the books. We donate all the profits that we make from the books to literacy programs, over 152 now on 5 continents. So thank you so much for your support, and continue to be great science learners. Bye-bye.